Hey guys, what's up? I had a couple of requests for this one, and it's something I was curious about anyway. So we're going to dive into the Christian Watson jet sweep touchdown, and we're going to look at a play from earlier in the game that may have kind of informed that. There's actually about five different plays, five plays in total. I've kind of whittled it down to these two to look at, just for the sake of kind of keeping this, I don't know, shortish. I don't know. I know how I tend to ramble, so it probably won't be that short. But this is, so we'll talk about. Second quarter, 13:32, first and 10. It's going to be a 7-yard gain. Spoiler alert. 11 personnel. We are going to have, we'll play it and then we'll kind of talk about it. We're going to have this motion into bunch over here. And what's going to happen is we're going to have a jet sweep to Christian Watson over that way. There's going to be a toss that way. It's going to go for 7 yards to Aaron Jones. So we will watch the play. We'll talk about this, and then we'll get into the next one. So there we go. Jet motion, movement, toss, final lane. Nice job, Aaron Jones. There we go. All right. What do we see here that's relevant going forward? Well, a couple different things. So first of all, we've got motion. No one follows. Now that's going to be different from the next one, but whatever. So the motion, no one follows. Right now they're going to be in zone. They're showing a too high look. With the guys we're going to be keeping an eye on here is going to be this man here and this man here, we'll say. So on the backside here, this is Lazard. It's going to be Sammy Watkins, the next one. Lazard's going to be running a slant, and we're going to watch the reaction from this guy here. And then when Watson runs his jet motion, we're going to watch the reaction from this guy here. Those are the two key pieces we're going to be looking at. The next one's going to be slightly different, but those two key pieces, that's what's going to help to kind of inform that call there. So we're going to have jet motion here. These guys will bump. Now this is the moment ball snapped. Those guys right here. So ball snapped. Rodgers has the ball. We're going to watch those guys here. They're looking run immediately, both these guys. Now, this is the key guy here, but both these guys in the middle, they're not looking jet. No one is looking jet motion over here. They're just reacting to the run. Apologies for that. So they're immediately looking run. This guy over here will now keep an eye on. So the one piece of information we've gathered so far. These guys right here look and run. Neither one of them is reacting to the jet motion. The other thing is when we've got a slant over here, this guy is watching the slant and following. Now, he's not totally giving up the edge. He's kind of a little flat-footed there, but he's following that inside. So if that ball is to Christian Watson, he's watching a little bit, but he is also watching that slant. So that edge is kind of open. So those are the pieces of information we have gathered here. Now, if we're looking at filling that alley, maybe you're looking at here if it's given, maybe that guy comes down. But they're also playing too deep, and he's got to play from very far deep. And as we've seen from Christian Watson, he's got speed to erase those ankles. So if you're looking for, again, we've got no one from the linebackers. And kind of get off topic a little bit there. We've got no one from the linebackers. So let's kind of backtrack a minute because this is going to be important. These two linebackers both flow into the run. Neither one of them is looking here. This alley here, he's not immediately looking to fill. And even if he is, he's coming from depth. And you've got the speed of Christian Watson there. And you've got this guy here kind of looking a little bit, but following that slant inside. That's what we've picked up. Let's play it again. And we'll look at the jet sweep from Christian Watson. So we go, 7 yards. All right. Later games. That's 13:32 left in the second. Now, 2 minutes left in the fourth. Packers are up by 1. We are going to watch. Now, there's a different defensive structure here. We've got, instead of 2 deep, they're looking at 2nd and 7. They're squeezing them a little bit. So you got single high, but that single high guy is not very deep, not very far off the ball here. We've got this 2 look over here, but we are going to have motion to create that bunch. And ISO, that time it's going to be Sammy Watkins up top in there. And as we all know, we'll watch it, Christian Watson's going to get the ball. He's going to take this sucker to the house because apparently that's just what Christian Watson does on a weekly basis now. So we're going to see jet motion. He's the man on the outside. Jet sweeping to the ISO side. He gets the ball. Really nice misdirect. They show that same toss that they had to Aaron Jones, so they get that fake toss to kind of give that little misdirect there. He jumps into the end zone, gets the touchdown. Packers go for 2, ice the game. All right. So what do we know? Well, first of all, a couple different pieces of information. Again, they got the bunch over here. You've got single high instead of 2 high. So you got more guys at the line. You're packing the line. But we also know that when Tonyan went in motion here, 53 followed. So that means you've got They're likely in man coverage. You got the single high guy up here, very shallow, like in man coverage. So they're saying if we send Christian Watson, which they're going to do, as we've all seen on this jet motion here, this man's going to be following. Now, really, for our purposes here, that doesn't matter. It's something to talk about because it's something that happens, but it's not something that ultimately matters because Christian Watson is going to be faster than that man, and we know we can beat him across the line. So, what are our key pieces? Well, we're running a slant here to Christian Watson again, or Christian Watson. I'm sorry, Sammy Watkins. And if it's anything like, I'll leave that up. I'm sorry. If it's anything like the last time they played it, this guy's going to be watching. He's going to follow that inside, and this guy's going to play the run. Those are our two key pieces. So what can Sammy Watkins do? Well, you leave this man right here unblocked because if he reacts like we expect him to react, we've already removed him from the boundary simply from the fact of running a slant. And then you have him block coming across. You block whoever's coming across. So if he's going to be reacting to the run here, then he's going to kind of come across. You block that guy. Or if it's the man coverage there, if it's the guy coming across there, you block that guy. Main point being, you don't have to block the edge because we already know how this man reacts on the edge. He's going to follow this inside, which means you can remove with Sammy Watkins with a single ISO player, you're removing the man from the boundary and you're also sealing off the inside. So when they run Christian Watson around, you remove the boundary. You don't have him anymore. You've sealed the edge or you sealed the inside, and then you just take that sucker around the edge. So we'll watch how they react. Ball snapped. Once again, we'll stop it right here. Movement there. His initial movement is he's moving to the run. And I mean, not just the run. You're keying on the blocking here. Everyone's blocking down. So whatever his assignment is, you've got the seal inside there. He's coming around. You've got the run there. His eyes, whatever he's looking at, if he's looking running back, if he's looking line, it's like a keying at something on the line. His eyes are taking him that way, so he runs that way. So you've removed the linebacker from the equation. You've got him out of there. Again, you've got the slant, which means you've removed this man from the equation. Again, this part here, this linebacker, that's information you've gathered earlier based on how you ran this before. Yeah, I mean, you don't know 100%, obviously, but when we run this, if we give this look, we're likely removing the linebacker. His first step is going to be to the run. So we take him out of the play. We remove the guy from the boundary from the slant. We hand that sucker to Christian Watson. Watson now has the ball in his hand, which means you've removed, again, you can now see him. He's inside. Watkins getting ready to block right there. So that's the man coverage guy. That's the man following Christian Watson across the line. And you've got the boundary right there with just plenty of room to roam if you're Christian Watson. So he goes, he gets the edge. Sammy Watkins, it doesn't have to do much. His job is get in the way, which he does. You don't have to lock a man up in this instance. You certainly don't want to get called for holding. So you don't want to get your hands to the outside. You don't want to grab him. You don't want to make it look like he's struggling to get away. You don't want to 39 to then put on an acting performance. It's like, I can't get away. Sammy Watkins, your job is remove the boundary, make contact with whoever's come across. If the linebacker reacts, which you assume he's not going to, probably not him, then the man coverage guy, whoever you need to seal from the inside, seal the man from the inside, chip him, knock him out of the way, get in his way. Don't do anything more than that. Don't get called for holding. Sammy Watkins does his job. And then my favorite part, he's at the 39. He's at the 39. There he is right there. That guy's still running, and he's celebrating. And you can't see him in the picture, but Aaron Rodgers also celebrating at this point. That man is Christian Watson is at the 37-yard line, and they're celebrating because they already know he's gone. They know he's gone. Watkins has a little hand motion, go, 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 willing him into the end zone. And again, we'll see it. We'll look at it from this angle, and we got it here. So that's Sanborn there. So his first movement is going to be, just to kind of set our bearings, his first movement is going to be to the run. And then you're going to have, I think that's, on this side here, 39. That's 39. So we'll run it back. That's him right there. Is going to be the man coverage man. I had a hard time picking that up initially. We'll see 39. He's running across. Right there, you've removed that guy there. You got that little block there. He's got the ball in his hands. Nothing but love in his heart. And empty fields to roam. You can see there's Rodgers there. So Watkins celebrating there. Yeah, Rodgers celebrating back there. Just plenty of room. Just absolutely beautiful. So again, there's a couple instances of them doing this. There's as near as I could tell from what I gathered from my amateur charting here, I saw roughly 5 plays where you have Watson on jet, and not all the instances were exactly the same, but Watson on jet and it going on run or something. One of them was an AJ Dillon touchdown run. Not everything was exactly the same, but you did kind of pick up a lot of this key information, piece of information throughout. You did generally have the same exact stuff. You had that linebacker reading run first. You had the guy on the backside on that ISO side running a slant or following that slant inside. So you picked up those key pieces of information, not only from the first rep, but also from a couple other reps you ran where you knew in a big moment or assumed in a big moment, if we run this, if we show this stuff up front, we're going to have the edge for Christian Watson, and we'll be able to remove the guy from the boundary and also get Sammy Watkins or whoever's on the boundary, whether that's Lazard or Watkins or whoever, to seal off the inside, open that up for Christian Watson, have him run to glory. So really great setup. Again, through a handful of different plays and another Christian Watson touchdown, which no surprise at this point. But I hope you enjoyed this, kind of seeing some of the information picked up and then how they act on it later in the game. And I will talk to you later.